Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stavo from Esports, bringing you a Starcraft 2 1v1 cast today. This time on Cloud Kingdom. This time it is a ZVP. In the top right-hand corner today, we have Ganjsmoker, who is our red Zerg. Excellent. In the bottom left-hand corner, however, we have our blue Protoss, who is Nyx. Yeah, not bad. Props to Ganjsmoker for uploading this onto Reddit. Excellent, very nice. The subreddit caster, to be precise. And it does actually look like Nyx is going to go and put his pylon down, ready for all of the Protoss-orientated shenanigans that is to come. Because that is what they do like to do. They do like to put their pylon on the low ground for the reason to block off right here and get their Nexus nice and early. Just they have a comparable economic lead with the Zerg. It's either that or really just go try and damage the Zerg as much as you can. But I mean, at the moment it has become very widely standard just to Forge Fast Expand versus Zerg as Protoss, and that's absolutely fine, no problems there. This probe risking life and limb going through the mineral line right there. Here's a brave one indeed. It does actually look like he's going to be able to escape and go behind the natural mineral line of his opponent, which is cancelled. And is he just going to try and block his opponent's hatchery? No, because his opponent is actually going spawning pool first. So that says to me maybe that we're going to see some aggression, perhaps. Nyx still actually just trying to block off where the hatchery should be sitting for Ganjsmoker. Whether or not Ganjsmoker is actually trying to take this is a different matter, because he is building up to 300 minerals right now. And yes, he has actually just put it down. I think that's actually 100% on time. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a gas go down right now as well, and that would obviously mean that Ganjsmoker is going for the Bisu build, which is gas pool and hatchery all at 14. But no, he's just going 14 pool, 14 hatch. Very economic, standard opener. Very good stuff. Nice and easy. I like the pylon on the high ground here from Nyx. That makes it very safe indeed. But I do think that he could have scouted a tiny bit better, seeing that the pool was up, and actually put the forge down first instead of the Nexus. Because at this point in time, if Nyx had Lings out on the way, well, I mean, if Ganjsmoker had got Lings out pretty much when the spawning pool finished, then it might have indeed been game over for Nyx pretty dang quickly, just by virtue of not getting his forge out first, and that can happen sometimes. Double gas going down right now for Nyx. Not a bad stratagem at all. You need gas just as much as you need minerals in life. Yes, so yes you do. This probe is going to meet his end. Unfortunately, he dies in a blaze of glory. If we call a blaze of glory a puff of smoke, unfortunately for him. But his replacement is on the way. That's right. This guy does not care about his life. He just wants to do some good scouting for Ire. Not bad. Oh yeah. Meanwhile, we do have Zerglings coming right down here, and I'm sure they're just going to take the Xel'Naga Watchtower and see what is going on. Of course, on Cloud Kingdom, the Xel'Naga Watchtowers are very, very important indeed. You do, in the middle here, have this kind of discotheque dance floor sort of thing, but in order to light the dance floor properly, you do in fact need the Xel'Naga Towers, which are positioned here and here, and they do actually give a massive tactical advantage to whoever owns them. Because you have to go like round an uber long way if your opponent owns them to not be spotted, and then you will actually be spotted in the end anyway. If your opponent owns both of them and you go to attack him, he will see you at some point of attacking, I think. Yes, that is correct. Yeah. So if your opponent owns both of them, he will see you at some point moving your army about. So the Xel'Naga Watchtowers on this map are indeed very, very important. This Zealot's mission was to come out here and take the Xel'Naga Watchtower, and unfortunately he has failed that mission. Unfortunately for him, he did take down 2 Zerglings, but you know what? Not quite enough. The Zerglings can stay sitting pretty on the Xel'Naga Watchtower right there, no problems at all. Meanwhile, we do have the robotics facility coming down right now for Nyx, and that does signal to me that maybe we are going to see that really nasty immortal push that happens around 11 minutes. Lots of stalkers and sentries go along with that. If any of you want to know about that build, just go on Team Liquid, because they have that build ready to go right now. Ganjsmoker also doing pretty good creep spread right here, and of course that is very useful indeed. Also getting spine crawlers out as well. Let's see what he can see. Okay, so he knows that his opponent has expanded. He knows that's probably a cybernetics core there. It's probably a good guess, seeing as you've got gateway. Logical step would be cybernetics core. Meanwhile, pylon going down on the back mineral line right there for Nyx. So he's playing fairly carefully. And we have that immortal on the way for Nyx as well. But I mean, I'm a Protoss player, and usually I like to go ahead and get my observer before I do this push, just to make sure it's safe, make sure that my opponent isn't doing anything that I wouldn't be expecting, i.e. getting fast muters or something like that. But of course, the way that your opponent takes gas can tell you a lot about what they are doing in the first place, so I think Nyx might have it all under control. Perhaps. We do have metabolic boost right here, and that of course increases the movement speed of Zerglings drastically and makes them far better. Essentially, it means they can surround stuff a lot easier. Meanwhile, Leia on the way right now for Ganjsmoker indeed. Leia just finished actually. And what are we going to see? What extra units are we going to see? Okay, so first of all we're going to see an Overseer. We're going to see the Guile Reconstitution, which of course is just fancy words for Roach Speed Upgrade, and of course that is something that is very important indeed. In fact, one of the ways that you can actually break this nasty immortal push that Protoss can do, wow, he's got a lot of immortals, it's crazy. One of the ways that you can break this nasty immortal push is actually just to have a lot of roaches, like a lot of roaches. Either that or get a fairly moderate amount of Hydralisks. Not bad. I do think that maybe Nyx could have started his 1+ weapon slightly earlier, so it was ready for him when the push begins. But I mean, he does have a lot of immortal here, a lot of immortal indeed. I mean, but with this composition at the moment, something that Nyx might just need to beat this is a lot of Zerglings. Meanwhile, he is actually making 9 roaches have just popped out right there, and we do have a macro hatch on the way as well, which of course will be eternally useful, especially if this hatchery here goes down for him. And of course, we do have Ganjsmoker knowing exactly what's going on now. He sees the immortals, he knows what's going on. This build getting fairly standard for Protoss players to actually do. I know there are some variations of it. And here we are. It is the 11-minute push. With the Warp Prism as well. Nice force field side by side right there. Very nice and organised. Unfortunately, the Zealots can't get through to do any damage at all. More force fields going down. Very tight force fields right there from Nyx. Lovely. Meanwhile, more units getting warped in right now. More extremely tight force fields. So this man has his force fields down, it is worth to say. But I'm just wondering at the moment if Ganjsmoker is actually going to be able to hold this. I know that Nyx is actually running out of energy. At least was when I looked last. Running out of energy on his sentries. I think he just needs to go ahead and kill this hatchery right now. He's got force fields up the wazoo. He has time to do it. Some Zerglings getting through, which will be a little bit problematic for Nyx right now. But and then some more roaches getting through as well. I feel like Nyx actually needs to go ahead and do something right now instead of just pushing the army back and holding it there for Ganjsmoker. It does look like this hatchery is going to go down. Boom, the hatchery goes down. The broodlings are going to pop out and come and attack the stalkers and try and do all sorts of damage. Meanwhile, we do have a fairly nice wall of crawl up here, or rather down here, which of course these Protoss units are about to run into, and spine crawlers do actually do a shockingly large amount of damage for how much money they cost. But also they're not the most hardy of units. They do get destroyed fairly easily. But I mean, Nyx does have to do something about the numbers of immortals that are coming down right here, and that is, as I said earlier, just getting a lot of roaches. Nyx getting loads and loads of roaches right here, and I just feel like Ganjsmoker did not take his opportunity and go and actually do as much damage as he could have, quick enough as it were, because there are more roaches just flooding the field right now, and I think I think Nyx is going to have to be really, really, really careful. The one weapons is finished, and of course that does increase the effectiveness of Stalkers against Roaches quite a lot. But here we are, these Roaches enjoying themselves a free lunch as those Protoss units get warped in. Meanwhile, the Protoss army is shooting to kind of for revenge right now. I mean, these force fields by Nyx are actually very good indeed. The Roaches are very good. Let's not forget how good Roaches actually are. I mean, especially compared to Stalkers, I don't really, you know, I mean, they're pretty damn good. Meanwhile, we have Zerg level 1 Carapace and ranged on the way as well. I just feel like Nyx hasn't actually done as much damage as he could have done by any means with this 3 Immortal push. He had so many Mortals, he outweighed his opponent's army so greatly, and what's he done with it? Very, very little indeed. 17 Roaches on the way for Ganjsmoker right now, and this is going to get out of hand for Nyx very, very quickly indeed. Pathogen Glands as well, which is going to help completely destabilize the game for Ganjsmoker. But meanwhile, there are Zealots coming in. They are going to be coming to try and snipe the Roach Warren. Is that going to happen? Is the Roach Warren going to go down? It does look like it is. The Roach Warren goes down, so Ganjsmoker is going to have to replace that instantly if he's going to want to carry on producing Roaches. That is something that is just going to want to happen very, very soon indeed. Pathogen Gland's going to be finishing up soon. New Roach Warren started. Are we going to see Infestors coming down? That all-important Burrow is coming down as well. The question is, are we going to see Tunneling Claws? Is Tunneling Claws already done? Have I just not already seen it? Who knows? That is the question. Nyx, on the other hand, opting not to warp more stuff into his opponent's base, is just going to play it safe back here, but at the same time, I think playing it safe is playing it dangerous. He needs to go and be aggressive right now. His opponent is teching to Infestors while he is doing essentially nothing. Good force fields there from Nyx, trapping a very large amount of Roaches right there, but I mean, Ganjsmoker has so many Roaches, and let's face it, Nyx hasn't gone back to go and make his Immortal. He hasn't started teching into Colossus or anything like that, and this is getting a dangerous situation for Nyx. There we go, the tech into Colossus has just started. This is a dangerous situation. I don't know if he knows it, but it is. Looks like Ganjsmoker going to be putting more stuff into the main base of... Sorry, Nyx going to be putting more stuff into the main base of Ganjsmoker, but I don't think this army is going to be able to hold from Nyx. Nice force fields, but I think Ganjsmoker's Roaches are just going to be able to work straight around it. The Zerglings, of course, are very, very good against Immortals and Stalkers, and the Zerglings are just going to come and crush what is remaining, along with the Roaches as well, with that very nice concave, almost a semicircle, and that is going to clear it up for Ganjsmoker. Nyx, unfortunately, not actually doing a whole lot against his opponent. He has come in here trying to kill off the Roach Warren again. Maybe he'll get the Roach Warren, but at this point in time, it doesn't particularly matter, seeing as Nyx has 63 supply to Ganjsmoker's 135 supply. The Roach Warren has been saved. Basically no drones lost. Let's have a quick look. Only 7 workers killed for Nyx right there, so not a whole lot. I genuinely feel that Nyx did not do anywhere near as much damage as he could have done with that push. And now I think it is time to pay. Ganjsmoker coming up here, coming up the middle, looking like he is just going to be rude all in Nyx's face. And I'm worried for Nyx right here, really. I am worried for Nyx in a fairly big way. Spire on the way for Ganjsmoker as well. So whatever advantage getting that Colossus tech is going to have, as soon as a few Corruptors pop, it is going to be completely mitigated. Infestors on the field right now. No Infestors actually have enough energy for fungal growth, which is of course a very, very key upgrade. Now we do have a Colossus on the field for Nyx right now, so Ganjsmoker will have to be careful with the Zerglings. Meanwhile, the Roaches, being armoured, don't have to be so careful, seeing as Colossus aren't the best against Roaches. And it looks like the Cybernetics Core is probably going to go down for Nyx, and that can be a massive bummer, seeing as that's what he needs to warp in Stalkers, which are pretty much the bread and butter of the Protoss army. Down goes the Cybernetics Core. Nyx needs to start that up again instantly. That is what he is doing right now. Thermal Lance on the way, as the Germans say, or on the way. And Q Colossus, Warp Prisms, whatever. I think that Nyx is in big, big trouble right now. And mainly because he's failed to monopolize on that very powerful immortal timing. He just wasn't aggressive enough with it. I mean, his units were standing next to his opponent's hatchery for a very, very long time until he actually decided to kill off the hatchery, for starters. Little things like that. And it does look like Nyx knows that he's probably in trouble, dancing the units around slightly. And, oh man, I genuinely don't think that Nyx can pull this back. Nyx in big, big, big trouble right now. With Ganjsmoker's supply being so much higher. Those Corruptors on the way. Hive Tech on the way as well. So he'll be working towards getting his Broodlords, Ultralisks, whatever. Meanwhile, we do have a nice Zealot drop over here in the main base of Ganjsmoker. Sorry, in the third base of Ganjsmoker. The Warp Prism making it away. Unfortunately, not making it away even. These Zealots are going to take down the hatchery, though. So it's not all Dark Clouds for Nyx. The hatchery does go down, but one thing that does say Dark Clouds for Nyx is all of the forces here. The 2-2 upgrades finished, and I mean, I'm worried for Nyx's safety right about now. Is Tunneling Claws done? That is a question. Who knows? But the engagement is starting right now. We will see if Tunneling Claws is done very soon. It doesn't actually matter if it is or not, because there is an observer on the field. In any case, those Corruptors are just taking down the Colossus with ease. And there we go. Nyx saying, good game, well played, and leaving. Always a gentleman. What a nice guy. Oh yeah, legend. I genuinely don't think that Nyx capitalised enough on his immortal push at all. But that is just my opinion. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Thanks to Ganjsmoker for uploading this one. It's a classic example, actually, of how a build that is very, very powerful at the moment can actually just turn around and be a bit shocking all of a sudden, just from a few tactical decisions. So, yeah, in any case, thanks a lot for watching, guys, as I've already said. And I will see you guys next time. Cheers.